Red Panama is off to a great start, taking the lead with some sharp cornering. V4L3K is hot on their tail, but Amazon looks like they're trying to find an opening for an overtake. It's all about those racing lines right now. Elite 103 has made a significant move, advancing 5 positions to claim Fowler. Meanwhile, Shorter T is experiencing difficulties, dropping back 11 spots to 40. In the battle for second place, La Croissant 1980 has successfully overtaken Unipoki, moving up to P2 Torel. Haha, love the energy, Neo Texan. Let's keep that hype going as we zoom through lap 1. Go, go, go. Of him dashing away. Red Panama is off to a blazing start, leading the pack with some impressive speed. Sirarenbot is right on their tail, maintaining a tight formation as they navigate the first turn. They foil Freem. A is hanging back in third but closing the gap. This could get interesting as they head down the straightaway. Red Panama is off to a blazing start, taking an early lead with some impressive cornering. Sirirenbot is hanging in there, keeping a tight grip on second place, while V-Foil Freem A is trying to close the gap in third. This pack is sticking together, and it's anyone's race. Maya from Team Death Robots has successfully moved up to position 29, after overtaking Lord of the Jungle. Meanwhile, Sabina 27 has advanced to position 38, overtaking Bot Mutwolf.til. The battle for position 38 is heating up between Sabina 27, in a Chinook MK2, and Bot Mutwolf, in a Chevrolet Chevy Tatunova SS. Both drivers are closely matched as they fight for dominance on the track. And we're off. Red Panama takes an early lead, zipping around the first corner with precision. Sirirenbot is hot on their tail, showing some impressive speed. E4L Freem A isn't far behind, maintaining a solid pace. It's shaping up to be an exciting showdown. Hey there! Welcome back to the stream. Polo Prince ready to watch some speedy AI showdown? Buckle up, it's gonna be a wild ride. Automobile dashing away. Aminsons has successfully moved into Pfawa after overtaking Neotexum. Meanwhile, Lord of the Jungle from Team No Name Racing has advanced to P28 by overtaking Elite 403. The race is tightening up as positions continue to shift. Okayoki 3, from Team Racing Potatoes, is currently locked in a close battle for 17 with Issy 1212 in the Chinook MK2 to Kosti T2. Both cars are maneuvering through tight corners, showing impressive skill as they defend their positions. Unipoki has successfully overtaken Duff Dad and has moved up to P24, while Maya has gained a position as well, now sitting at P29 after overtaking Elite 403. The race continues to intensify as drivers jockey for better placements. Lequerson 1980 has successfully advanced to position 20 after overtaking Barbado Dantige. In a close contest for position 27, Electric Murray, in the Nissan R380-2, is currently battling with Lord of the Jungle, who is in the Lola T290. Meanwhile, Sabina 27 has made progress to position 34, having overtaken Bot Okinabuka. That's Vidawant Dedubaka. That's toss. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers jockey for better placements on the track. Currently, Ship Broman has dropped significantly, now in 31st position after losing 18 spots. Yamthakrabi is also struggling and has fallen to 32nd, down 17 positions. In contrast, Nukem Bokum has made an impressive move, advancing to 6th place by successfully overtaking Amundsen. Currently, Bot Emerald Tick 30988 is making significant progress, decreasing the gap to Amikrabi by 5.6 seconds as they battle for position. In the meantime, Nukam Bokum has successfully overtaken Amundsen, advancing to 5. Following this move, Amundsen has countered by overtaking me, Amy, and has now secured 6. Laquason 1980 has encountered issues, dropping back to position 35. Meanwhile, N29 Kia has made a notable gain, advancing to 16th place after successfully overtaking ST4 and Chelto. The two are now engaged in a close battle for that position, with N29 Kia in the Cooper Type 61 Monaco and ST4 and BZJ in the Chinook MK2. The competition is heating up as they jockey for position. Baker Jerome has successfully moved into 7 after overtaking Wazirius Guy. Meanwhile, Ovo Misterioso has made a solid gain, advancing to P9 by passing Bocasito. Additionally, N29 Kia from Team Also No Name Racing has climbed to 15, overtaking Okayoki 3. The race is intensifying with these strategic overtakes. Bot Emerald Tick 398 has significantly reduced the gap to Elite 403, now just 9.9 seconds behind. Meanwhile, Maya from Team Death Robots is advancing rapidly, having overtaken 8 cars to secure position 34. In a notable move, Sir Ironbot has taken the lead, moving up to position 1 after successfully overtaking Red Panama Dot. The race dynamics continue to shift as these AI drivers push their limits. Cookie Bananity has dropped significantly, now in P29 after losing 7 positions. Ision Tolls in 212 has made a solid move to P11, successfully passing Anonymous Ninty3.ice. Meanwhile, OKOQ3 from Team Racing Potatoes is gaining on N29PA, reducing the distance by 2.4 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers adjust their strategies. Bobardo has just executed an impressive maneuver, overtaking 4 cars and advancing to position 14. B for L3. A is also making strides, having moved up 7 positions to secure 16. Meanwhile, Electric Mary from Team Quark Express is not far behind, successfully overtaking 5 cars to reach 17. The race is seeing significant movement in the midfield as drivers push hard for those crucial positions. Nukembockum and Wiz Series Guy are locked in a tight battle for 4th place. Nukembockum in the Porsche 906 is closely following Wiz Series Guy, who was in the Chinook MK2 Duante. Suzanne Greenberg has gained ground, advancing to 13th place after successfully overtaking Unipoki. Meanwhile, Elite 403 has made progress as well, moving up to 29th place after overtaking Maya from Team Death Robot. Chipbroman has dropped back significantly, now in 29th place after losing 6 positions. Meanwhile, Ayam the Krabby is also struggling, falling to 30th after an 8th position drop. In contrast, the battle for 6th is heating up between Baker Jeroni in a Porsche 906 and Ova Misterioso in a Nissan R382. Both drivers pushing hard as they jostle for position. When Sirius Guy has just executed a successful overtake on Greninjab, moving into 5. The Chinook MK2 is putting up a strong performance against Greninjab's Nissan R380A2, as they continue to battle closely for position. Meanwhile, Ovo Misterioso has gained a spot, now in 7 after overtaking Baker Gironi, showcasing impressive speed and control. The race dynamics are tightening as the competitors push for every ounce of performance. Emerald Tick 30988 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Shipperman by 7.3 seconds. In 4, Nukem Bochum has successfully overtaken with Sirius Guy, pushing them down to 5. Meanwhile, Baker Gironi has also gained ground, moving up to 7 after overtaking Isyaman 12-12. The positions are shifting as the race continues to unfold. When Sirius from Team No Name Racing has just executed a clean overtake on Nukem Bochum, moving up to power. Meanwhile, N29 Kia has also made progress, jumping to P9 after getting the better of Ovo Misterioso. The battle for Pen is heating up, with Ovo Misterioso and Anonymous NG3 closely contesting that position. N29 Kia has successfully moved into P8, after overtaking Issue on 12-12 T12. The battle for 15 is heating up between Barbado, in the Lola T290, and V4 Lafrine, in the Porsche 906, with both drivers closely matched. Meanwhile, Electric Marine 7E27 are locked in a tight contest for 17, with Electric Marie piloting the Nissan R380 and 7E27 at the wheel of the Chinook MK2. Boasho of the Chinook MK2 got joy. Und the dynamics between these pairs are creating some exciting moments on the track. Greninjab has successfully moved up to 5 after overtaking Sirius Guy. Suzanne Greenberg is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Ovo Misterioso by 3.3 seconds. Koki Benanity is also closing in on Electric Murray, with a decrease of 2.4 seconds in their distance. Baker Gironi has successfully moved up to 7, executing an overtake on N29 TA from Team Also No Name Racing. The battle for 7 continues as both drivers push their limits, with Baker Gironi in a Porsche 906 and 29 Kia in a Cooper Type 61 Monaco. Meanwhile, the Krabby has made progress as well, advancing to P29 after overtaking deplorably Apple. Race dynamics are shifting as drivers jockey for position. Maya from Team Death Robots has experienced a significant setback, dropping to P38 after losing 15 positions. Meanwhile, Baker Gironi has made a notable advancement, now sitting in 5 after successfully overtaking Waziri's Guy. In response, Waziri's Guy has regained some momentum and moved up to 6 by overtaking N29 Kia. The dynamics are shifting as drivers jockey for better positioning on the track. Nukem Bochum, in the Porsche 906, is currently side by side with Waziri's Guy in the Chinook MK2, battling fiercely for 6th position. It's a tight race as they maneuver through the corners. Meanwhile, Koki Beninity has made a successful move to rise to 18th position after overtaking Amazon, who now sits in 19th. Additionally, Amazon has managed to regain some ground, moving up to 19th by overtaking Bochezero. The race continues to unfold with dynamic position changes. Baker Gironi has significantly reduced the gap to Neo Texan by 2 seconds, indicating a potential move for position soon. Meanwhile, Waziri's Guy and N29 Kia are locked in a tight battle for 5th place, with Waziri's Guy in the Chinook MK2 closely following N29 Kia in the Cooper Type 61 Monaco. Ovo Misterioso has made progress, advancing to 11th place after successfully overtaking Onipaki. La Croissant 1980 from Team Blast is closing in on Koki by 90, reducing the gap by 29.4 seconds. In the meantime, Nukem Bochum from Team Death Robots has successfully overtaken Anonymous 93, moving up to position 7. Anonymous 93 then regained some ground, overtaking N29 Kyo to move back up to position 8. The race is intensifying with these changes in positions. Nukem Bochum has successfully moved into 5 after overtaking Baker Gironi. The battle for 5 between Nukem Bochum from Team Death Robots and Baker Gironi is heating up. Meanwhile, Baker Gironi is also engaged in a duel for 6 with Greninja, who is driving a Nissan R308 Yeti, while Baker Gironi is in a Porsche 906. The dynamics in the midfield are quite intense as these drivers jostle for position. Amundsen has dropped back to position 24, losing 6 spots. Meanwhile, Waziri Sky is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Neo Texan by 2.4 seconds. N29KA from Team Also No Name Racing has advanced to position 8 after successfully overtaking anonymous Nina T3 Duat. All Misterioso has gained ground, now positioned in P9, after successfully overtaking Suzanne Greenberg. Meanwhile, Suzanne Greenberg has bounced back to Pen after executing an overtake on Unipaki. Unipaki is now closing in on Suzanne Greenberg, reducing the gap by 4.1 seconds, indicating a potential challenge for position soon. Baker Jeroen has successfully moved into P3 after an overtaking maneuver on Nukembokemt. This places Nukembokem in foul as he swiftly overtakes N29 Kia. Following that, N29 Kia has advanced to 5 by passing Waziri Sky. The positions are tightening up as the race continues. Anonymous Nina T3 is making significant progress, now just 13.3 seconds behind Suzanne Greenberg. In another key development, Aaron Sakrabi is also gaining ground, reducing the distance to La Courson 1980 by 7.9 seconds. Meanwhile, Bobardo has successfully overtaken Unipoki, advancing to 8th place. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers push for better positions. Zirarenbot is currently in P2, narrowing the gap to Red Panama, now just 3 seconds behind. Isium 12 and 12 has successfully moved up into 5 after overtaking over Misterioso. Over Misterioso has countered by advancing to 6, having passed Bobardo. The positions are shifting rapidly as the race continues. Duffdad is now just 494.5 seconds behind Bot Dishonored Fox, indicating a significant reduction in the gap as he pushes hard. Anonymous Nina T3 has made a successful move to take P12 from Waziri Sky, who has now slipped back to P13 after being overtaken by Suzanne Greenberg. The positions are shifting as the drivers continue to strategize and execute their racing lines effectively. IC 1212 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Baker Gironi by 5.6 seconds. Elite 403 is also picking up pace, narrowing the distance to Krabi by 30.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Nukem Bochum is catching up to Sir Ironbot, slicing the gap down by 2.4 seconds. The competition is heating up as these drivers push for position. Baker Gironi is now in P3 after successfully overtaking Nukem Bochum, who has dropped to P4. The battle for P3 is heating up as both drivers continue to jostle for position. Meanwhile, Ubardo Nalola, T290 is engaged in a close fight with New Texan in the Porsche 906 for 7. This duel is displaying some tight racing dynamics, as both cars are pushing their limits on the track. Shorter Air is now just 9.9 seconds behind Botokana Bakal, showing impressive speed as they close the gap. Maya has made a notable advancement, overtaking 6 cars, and now sits in P29. Sir Ironbot has taken the lead, moving up to Pone after successfully overtaking Red Panama. Bot Lord Secresby is currently in P3, but is under pressure as Duffdad is rapidly closing the gap, now at 466.5 seconds. Over Misterioso has successfully overtaken Sir Ironbot, moving up to Power. Meanwhile, there's a close battle for 5 between Sir Ironbot in the Porsche 906 and IC 1212. From Team Also, No Name Racing in the Chinook MK2, indicating a competitive dynamic in the midfield. V4L3 A is gaining on Butcherzera, with the gap now reduced to 3 seconds. Meanwhile, Amy from Team Death Robots has made a move up to P24 after overtaking La Croissant 1980. Ellie 203 is also on the hunt, closing in on Bot Emerald Tick for 988 by 3.2 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as we see these drivers make strategic moves. Shorter E has advanced to P26 after successfully overtaking Bot Okinabaka Dado. Elite 403 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Bot Emerald Tick for a 988 by 2.8 seconds. Meanwhile, Duffdad is also gaining ground on Bot Lord Secresby, closing that distance by 4.7 seconds. Bot Dishonored Fox is now just 6.2 seconds behind Bot Mutt Wolf, rapidly closing the gap. Meanwhile, Subin A27 has made a solid move into P18, overtaking ST4 and Bizic Toat. However, Esteban Biesche has retaliated and moved up to P19 by overtaking Butcher 0.2. The race is heating up with these positional changes. Kumbakam is now in P2 after successfully overtaking Ova Misterioso, who has dropped to P3. In a swift move, Ova Misterioso has regained some ground, pushing EC1212 down to Pfauer. Meanwhile, EC1212 has maneuvered past Becca Gironi, securing Pfa for themselves. The positions are shifting rapidly as the cars continue to battle for better standings on the track. Grenier from Team Also No Name Racing is gaining on Baker Gironi, reducing the distance to 14.5 seconds. Deplorably Apple from Team Live for Speed is also making moves, closing in on Ian Sakrabi with an 8-second gap. Meanwhile, Neo Texum has successfully overtaken Bobardo and has now advanced to 6. The gentleman is showing impressive speed, reducing the gap to Lacrosse in 1980 by 32.6 seconds, indicating a strong challenge for the lead. EC1212 has executed a successful overtake on Sirarenbot, advancing to P3 away. Sirarenbot, however, has responded by overtaking Ova Misterioso, moving back up to Pfauer. The positions are shifting rapidly as the race progresses. Baker Gironi is currently in P2 and has reduced the gap to Neo Texum in Pone by 3.3 seconds, showing some strong pace. Anonymous in T3 has advanced to P8 after successfully overtaking Ova Misterioso. Meanwhile, One Serious Guy has made a move into Pen, getting ahead of Suzanne Greenberg. The race is tightening up as positions shift. EC1212 has encountered issues on track and has dropped back 6 positions, now sitting in P9. Kasishuk is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Shipperman by 32.4 seconds as they head into the next corner. Meanwhile, Duff Dad is also closing in on Bart Designer Fox, cutting the distance down by 40.1 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers push for better positions. Bot Muttwolf has reduced the gap to Bot 8's basic switch by 7.6 seconds, indicating a strong push in their pace. Meanwhile, Bobardo from Team Blast is gaining on M29 Kia, cutting the distance down by 2 seconds. In a notable move, Bot Okanabaka has advanced to position 24 after successfully overtaking Lord of the Jungle. The race dynamics are shifting as these competitors increase their efforts. Sabina 27 has made significant progress, reducing the distance to Electric Mary by 3.2 seconds. Meanwhile, E4L3 is also picking up speed, closing in on Sabina 27, with a reduction of 3.1 seconds. Lord of the Jungle is not far behind, cutting the gap to Bot Okanabaka by 2.2 seconds. The race dynamics are tightening as these cars push for better positions. Onipoki in the Lola T290 is closely trailing Okayoki 3 in the Cooper Type 61 Monaco as they battle for P14. The gap between them remains tight, with both drivers jockeying for position. Lord of the Jungle has successfully moved up to P24 after overtaking Amy, who has now slipped back to P25. However, Amy has made a quick recovery and has managed to overtake Bot Okanabaka, securing her place just behind Lord of the Jungle. The race dynamics continue to shift as these drivers push for their best positions. Shortira is now 14.4 seconds behind Bot Okanabaka, making significant progress in the gap. Maya from Team Death Robots has made a strong move, overtaking 6 cars and advancing to position 28. Additionally, Duff Dad is also gaining on Bot Dishonored Fox, reducing the gap by 5.4 seconds. Shipbroman has advanced to P30 after successfully overtaking Elite 403. Meanwhile, Elite 403 has responded by moving up to P31, overtaking EM Thakrabi. In another part of the track, Bot Emerald Tig 498 has gained ground, now sitting at P33 after overtaking Deplorably Apple. Amini-san is now in 19th position after successfully overtaking V14 AA. Meanwhile, Bot Dishonored Fox has advanced to 41st place by passing Duff Dad. The race continues to see some strategic moves as drivers jockey for position. Bot Emerald Tig 388 is now just 5.4 seconds behind Shipbroman, showing significant pace as they close the gap. In the battle for 6, New Kembukan, in the Porsche 906, is locked in a tight contest with anonymous Nina T3, driving the Nissan R308H of the two. Meanwhile, Lord of the Jungle has made an impressive move up to P24, successfully overtaking Lacrosse 1 1980. Assetto is continuing to close the gap on Shipperman, now down to 7.8 seconds. Baker Girone has successfully moved up to 5 after a clean overtake on Nukembokem from Team Death Robots. Meanwhile, Woon Serious Guy and Issy, 12-12, from Team Also No Name Racing, are in gate battle for Pate, with both cars showing strong pace as they jockey for position. Bot Temultic 398 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to deplorably Apple by 22.4 seconds. Meanwhile, Baker Girone is gaining on Greninjip, cutting the distance down by 2.9 seconds. In a notable move, N29 Kia has advanced to P11 after successfully overtaking Over Misterioso. Assetto is now just 50.8 seconds behind Elite 403, significantly narrowing the gap. In the battle for position, Nukembokem has successfully overtaken Anonymous Ninity 3, advancing to 6. Meanwhile, SD4BEJ has made a notable move up to P20 after overtaking Kokubi. The race dynamics are shifting as drivers position themselves for potential further gains. The gentleman is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Bottle Kunimbaka by 24.9 seconds, and moving into a strong position. In the battle for 9th place, Suzanne Greenberg in the Lola T290 is engaged in a close fight with Issy 1212 in the Chinook MK221. Okayoki 3 is also gaining ground, narrowing the distance to Onipaki by 2.9 seconds. The race dynamics are heating up as positions shift and competitors push their limits. Deplorably, Apple has made significant progress, and is now only 36.5 seconds behind the gentleman, showcasing impressive pace. In the midfield, Anonymous Ninity 3 has successfully overtaken Nukembokem, moving up to position 6. The battle for that 6th place continues, with Anonymous Ninity 3 in the Nissan R300 and Nukembokem in the Porsche 906, courteously contesting each other. The dynamics in this segment of the race are intensifying as both drivers push their limits. Bot Lord Secrisby is currently in 6th place, but Duff Dad from Team Life for Speed is gaining ground rapidly, reducing the gap by 5.3 seconds. In the battle for 8th position, Neotexum from Team NAF Gum Kings is closing in on Sirironbot, cutting the deficit by 2.5 seconds. Meanwhile, the gentleman has successfully overtaken Deplorably Apple and advanced to P29. The race is tightening up as we approach the halfway mark. Eka Girone is holding strong in 5, maintaining pressure as Anonymous 983 attempts to close the gap in the Nissan R380. The two distance between them is minimal, indicating a potential overtake soon. In P9 and 29 Kia, in the Cooper Type 61, Monaco is currently defending against Suzanne Greenberg in the Lola T290. Both cars are closely matched, with Suzanne making aggressive moves to find a way past. Amy is making significant progress, reducing her gap to short TT by 3.7 seconds, showing an impressive pace as she aims to catch up. The race dynamics are intensifying across multiple positions. Sabine at 27 is now just 2.2 seconds behind Okayoki 3, showcasing some impressive pace and closing that gap. Koki Beninity from Team No Name Racing has made a notable move up to P20 after overtaking Butchadarovatai. Meanwhile, Butchacero has countered by overtaking Setifon Bizet, advancing to P21 to Usurin. The race is heating up with these position changes. Boto Kinabaka is rapidly gaining on Maya, reducing the gap now to just 35.2 seconds. In the mid-pack, Shorty A in the Porsche 906 is engaged in a tight battle with Lequoisa 1980, who is piloting the Chinook MK2 for position 22. Both drivers are pushing hard as they jockey for position, with Shorty E maintaining a slight edge as they navigate through the corners. Sirironbot from Team Death Robots is gaining on Red Panama, reducing the gap by 2.5 seconds. In a close contest for Peng, Issy 1212 in the Chinook MK2 is battling with Ova Misterioso in the Nissan R300 and AE22. Additionally, Bobardo has advanced to P12 after successfully overtaking Suzanne Greenberg. Anonymous Ninity 3, in the Nissan R380, is currently engaged in a close battle for P5 with Baker Joran, who's driving the Porsche 906. They are both pushing their limits as they navigate the track. Meanwhile, Amy has successfully moved up to P22, after overtaking Shorty T.I. This move demonstrates her strategic racing skills. Est4 BHA has also made progress, advancing to P24 by overtaking Lacrosse 1980 from Team Blast. The race is becoming more competitive as positions shift and drivers capitalize on opportunities. Kazashok has reduced the gap to Elite 403 by 6 seconds, actively pursuing for an overtake. Dufdad is also closing in on Botmut Wolf, cutting the distance down by 5.5 seconds. Meanwhile, Greninjib is catching up to Neo-Texan, with a gap reduction of 3.8 seconds. All three drivers are showing strong pace as they aim for strategic overtakes. ISI 1212 is now just 2.1 seconds behind N29PA, gaining on the leader as the tension builds. Bobardo has successfully overtaken Suzanne Greenberg to move into Pendoital. Meanwhile, Suzanne Greenberg has retaliated by overtaking Neo-Texan, now holding Palaven. Race positions are shifting as the drivers strategize for the next moves. Electric Murray has successfully moved up to 15, after overtaking Zabin in a clean maneuver. Amazon has gained a position as well, now sitting at 17 after passing Okayoki 3. Elite 403 is making strides too, advancing to P34 with an overtake on Kazashok from Team S1s. The race continues to see dynamic shifts in car positions. Suzanne Greenberg is gaining on Bobardo, reducing the gap by 2 seconds, which indicates a potential overtake soon. Amy has also closed in on Buchai Zero, with a reduction of 2 seconds. Meanwhile, the gentleman is making strides against Boto Kanabaka, closing that gap by 2.3 seconds as well. The dynamics are shifting as these racers push their limits. Yingli Pocky is currently gaining on Greninjib, reducing the gap by 10.8 seconds. Ovo Misterioso is also making progress, cutting down the distance to Baker Joran by 2 seconds. Meanwhile, Bobardo has successfully overtaken Suzanne Greenberg, moving up to P8. Sabina 27 is currently in pursuit of Waziri's Guy, reducing the distance by 2.9 seconds. Meanwhile, Dufdad is also gaining on Botmut Wolf, closing the gap by 2.6 seconds as they navigate through the track. The competition is intensifying as both rivalries develop. N29 Kia has just made a successful move, advancing to 6 by overtaking Issy 1212. Meanwhile, Anipaki is steadily closing the distance to Suzanne Greenberg, reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Electric Murray is also gaining ground on Grenijeb, with a gap reduction of 2.8 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers push their limits. Nissan has significantly reduced the gap to Suzanne Greenberg by 33.8 seconds, indicating a strong pace. Meanwhile, Winzeri's Guy is also making progress, closing in on Electric Murray with a gap reduction of 2.6 seconds. The dynamics on the track are shifting as these competitors adjust their strategies. Neo Texum has successfully made an overtake on Issy 1212, advancing to 7. Anonymous Nina T3 has also gained ground, moving into Pen after overtaking Grenijeb. Meanwhile, Grenijeb has responded by overtaking Electric Murray, reclaiming Kaleven. The positions are shifting rapidly as the race continues. Unipocky has just gained a position, now at 16 after successfully overtaking Amundsen. La Croissant 1980 has also made a move, advancing to P26 by getting past Maya on SE. Meanwhile, Duff Dad is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Bot Mutt Wolf by 3.6 seconds, indicating a potential challenge for that position soon. Duff Dad is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Bot Mutt Wolf by 5.44 seconds, indicating a strong pace. Meanwhile, Ovo Misterioso in the Nissan R38 Etsu and Bakar Jorone in the Porsche 906 are engaged in a tight battle for power, showcasing some impressive driving maneuvers. Additionally, Anonymous Nina T3 has successfully overtaken Grenijeb, moving up into P9. The race dynamics are heating up as these positions continue to shift. Issy 1212 has successfully overtaken Neo Texum and is now in 6th. Amundsen is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Onipaki by 3.3 seconds. Meanwhile, Lord of the Jungle is also gaining ground on Short AT, closing the distance by 4 seconds. The dynamics are shifting as the race continues. Hey Kamoyo 3, welcome back to the stream. Ready to rev those engines and let the AI show off their skills? Let's see if they can keep up with your awesome return. Automobile dashing away. Anonymous Ninity 3 has successfully reduced the gap to Neo Texum by 2.2 seconds, indicating a strong pace. Meanwhile, D43NA is also gaining on Aminsan, cutting down the distance by 4.4 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers intensify their efforts to overtake. Hey night there. Welcome back to the pit lane. Buckle up. It's time to watch some high-speed mayhem. Racing car dashing away. Bob Motvolf is currently in the lead, but Duff Dad is aggressively closing the gap, now just 5.1 seconds behind. Ovo Misterioso is also making a move, catching up to Becker Giorno with a reduction of 3.3 seconds in the distance. The race dynamics are heating up as both Duff Dad and Ovo Misterioso push to overtake their respective opponents. Ianthakrabi has reduced the gap to Bada Kanabaka by 2.2 seconds, indicating a strong pace from Ianthakrabi. Meanwhile, Bada Kanabaka appears to be struggling with tire wear, creating an opportunity for overtaking. The distance between them narrows as they approach the next turn. The race dynamics are shifting as Ianthakrabi gears up for a potential overtake. Sirarumbot is currently in pole after executing a successful overtake on Red Panama. Daddy Twang. Ovo Misterioso, in the Nissan R3 Gear 2, is engaged in a tight battle with Issy 12-12-12, driving the Chinook MKT 245. Anonymous Unity 3 has advanced to P9, having overtaken Greninja. Nukem Bokum has significantly closed the gap to Sirarumbot, now down to 37.2 seconds. Meanwhile, Anonymous Unity 3 is also making progress, reducing the distance to Neo Texum by 2.9 seconds. The dynamics of the race are shifting as both drivers show strong performance. Bujazero has made significant progress, reducing the gap to 70-27 by 30.5 seconds. Baker Yoroni is also making strides, cutting down the distance to Nukembokan by 2.1 seconds. Meanwhile, Bobado is closing in on Ovo Misterioso, shortening the gap by 2.7 seconds. The race is intensifying as these drivers push to gain positions. Issy 1212 has successfully moved into Pfau after executing a clean overtake on Baker Jerome. Meanwhile, Anonymous Ninity 3 is applying pressure to Neo Texum from Team Nufgom Kings, reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. The gentleman has made progress as well, advancing to P29 with a decisive pass on Boto Kinabaca. Shipperman has successfully caught up to Boto Kinabaca, reducing the distance to 2.2 seconds. The battle for position is heating up as Shipperman accelerates into the next turn. Boto Kinabaca is maintaining a steady pace, but will need to defend against Shipperman's advances. Meanwhile, in the mid-pack, Corex is making a move on Kari, attempting an overtake on the inside line. Garzi remains in the lead, managing to extend its gap to 5 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Maya has made significant progress, reducing the gap to La Crossa 1980 by 2.3 seconds, putting pressure on the leader. Meanwhile, Yantha Krabi is gaining on Maya, closing the distance by 2.7 seconds. In another battle, Shipperman is catching up to Boto Kinabaca, slicing down the gap by 2 seconds. The race is tightening up as competitors push for position. N29 Kia has successfully moved up to P13, after overtaking Suzanne Greenberg-Gotti. Meanwhile, Shipperman is closing the gap to Boto Kinabaca, reducing it by 2.6 seconds. In another battle, Elite 403 is also gaining on Bot Emerald Tick for 988, cutting the distance by 2.1 seconds. The dynamics are shifting as these drivers push for better positions. Sirironbot is now just 3.1 seconds behind Red Panama, making a strong push for an overtake. Meanwhile, Shipperman has reduced the gap to Boto Kinabaca by 2.6 seconds, applying pressure from behind. Elite 403 is also gaining ground on Bot Emerald Tick for 988, closing the distance by 2.9 seconds. The dynamics are shifting as these competitors tighten their race strategies. B403 has significantly reduced the gap to Suzanne Greenberg by 2.3 seconds, now sitting just behind her. Meanwhile, Kazashuk is also gaining ground on Bot Emerald Tick for 988, cutting the distance down by 2.8 seconds. Both drivers are showing strong pace as we approach the next segment of the race. Okayoki 3 and Amundsen are currently engaged in a tight battle for 17th position, with Okayoki 3 in the Cooper Type 61 Monaco, and Amundsen in the Porsche 906. Meanwhile, Lord of the Jungle is making significant progress towards Short TT, reducing the gap by 3.2 seconds, indicating a potential overtake in the near future. Additionally, Yantha Krabi is also closing in on Maya, narrowing the distance by 2.2 seconds, which could lead to a challenge for position soon. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers push their limits. Shipperman has reduced the gap to bot Okanabaka by 2 seconds, indicating a strong push for a potential overtake. Meanwhile, Kadishuk is also making strides, narrowing the distance to bot Emerald Tigthra 988 by 2.5 seconds. In the backfield, bot Lord Sekrisby has successfully moved up to Porty after overtaking bot Dishonored Fox. The competition is heating up as drivers jockey for position.